You're looking for a chair that actually makes your work-from-home days feel smoother, not just a piece of furniture that ticks a checklist of buzzwords. You want something that stays reliable when you forget to adjust it, that blends into your routine without demanding a tech support call every week, and that feels like a solid investment rather than a gimmicky add-on. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started researching ergonomic chairs, the biggest hesitation I felt was the fear of buying a smart chair that sounds great on paper but ends up being a pain to use. The market is flooded with models that promise age-driven lumbar support or built-in massage, yet the real test is how those features behave after you've been sitting for 8, 10, or 12 hours. I dug into user forums, watched a handful of long-form reviews, and tried to separate the hype from the actual day-to-day value. That's why I'm focusing on the practical side of the Hbada X7 rather than rattling off a list of specs. The X7 sits in a niche that's been growing fast, ergonomic chairs that add a layer of technology to the traditional design. Most of the time, people who consider this category are either remote professionals who spend a lot of time at a desk, gamers who need a supportive posture for marathon sessions, or anyone dealing with chronic back discomfort who hopes a smarter chair can give them some relief without a costly physiotherapy regimen. The promise here is that the chair learns how you like your lumbar support and then remembers it, while also offering massage and ventilation to keep you comfortable. Let's start with the AI lumbar system. The chair has sensors that track how you sit and then adjust the support to match the shape of your lower back. In real-world use, that means you can set up your preferred position in the morning, stand up for a coffee break, and when you sit back down the chair nudges the lumbar pad back to where it was. For someone who forgets to readjust every time they move, that learning feature cuts down on the mental overhead. It's not a full-blown robotic spine, but the subtle pressure adjustments are enough to keep a slight slump from forming over the day. The built-in massage function is where the X7 tries to differentiate itself. It offers a hand-like back massage that runs along the lumbar area. If you're the type who likes a quick kneading session after a tight meeting, you'll appreciate the ability to toggle it with a button on the armrest. In my testing, the massage isn't strong enough to replace a professional session, but it does give a gentle release that can be a nice break between tasks. The downside is that the massage motor draws from a 5,200 mAh internal battery, so you'll need to charge it every few days if you use it regularly. Speaking of the battery, that's another practical point. The X7 comes with a rechargeable pack that powers the massage and the ventilation fans. When you first plug it in, you get roughly 810 hours of combined operation. If you're planning to run the massage and fans continuously, you'll need to keep the charger handy. For a typical workday, most users find the charge lasting through the day, but the need to remember to plug it in at night is an extra habit to form. The chair itself doesn't need power for the basic ergonomic adjustments, so you can still sit comfortably without the battery if you prefer. Ventilation is a subtle but useful feature. The backrest has tiny perforations that push a low-volume airflow across the seat and lumbar region. In a warm home office, that airflow can prevent that sticky feeling you get after an hour of sitting. It's not a full-blown cooling system, but it does make the Alcantara suede surface feel less clammy during summer months. The material itself is soft and has a plush feel, which is a step up from standard mesh or faux leather. It also resists wear reasonably well, though you'll want to keep it away from sharp objects that could snag the weave. The 4D dual-axis headrest is another point that gets a lot of attention. It moves up and down, tilts forward and back, and swivels side to side, so you can align it with your neck angle whether you're reading documents on a second monitor or taking a video call. In practice, the headrest stays put once you lock it, and the movement is smooth enough that you don't have to wrestle with it each time you shift position. It's a nice touch for people who like to recline a bit while listening to music or watching a webinar. Now, let's talk about who this chair really serves. If you're a remote worker who spends 6 or more hours at a desk, appreciates a little tech assistance, and doesn't mind paying a premium for a chair that does more than just sit, the X7 is a solid match. Gamers who sit for long sessions will also benefit from the lumbar learning and the occasional